Welcome back to InvestIQ Euro, your daily read on Canadian markets. Today's market snapshot is a mixed bag. The TSX Composite Index is down 0.55% or about 83 points, while the big banks are trading in line with the broader market. Our Y.TO and TD.TO are down less than 1%, but BNS.TO has taken a bigger hit at minus 0.96%. In other news, energy stocks are getting slammed, led by oil prices which have just tanked to $69.53 per barrel. And as for our friends south of the border, Bitcoin is having its worst day in weeks, down 3.23% at around $21,400. Now let's dive into today's big story, Shopify's warning on Bill C-22 and what it means for Canadian tech companies. Shopify's warning that Bill C-22 could handicap Canadian tech companies has sparked concerns about the impact of this legislation on our homegrown tech industry. But I'm not convinced that the real issue here is the regulation itself, but rather the government's ability to exert control over data generated by these companies. Think about it, if the feds can dictate how our own startups handle their customer data, that's a significant blow to Canadian innovation. Here's what you need to know. Bill C-22 proposes new rules around data residency and access for law enforcement agencies. Shopify is worried that this will limit its ability to operate globally, but I think that's an overstatement. In reality, most tech companies already have robust systems in place to manage their global data flows. It's not like they're going to suddenly be forced to keep all their user data in a Canadian data center. What the government is really doing here is setting up its own framework for controlling access to sensitive information, and that has implications beyond just data residency. If passed, Bill C-22 will give the feds more teeth when it comes to getting their hands on data from Canadian tech companies regardless of where in the world they operate. Now, I know what you're thinking, what does this mean for my Shopify shares? Well, here's a possible takeaway. While the short-term impact may be minimal, long-term investors should keep an eye on how this plays out. If the government continues to exert more control over our tech industry, that could stifle innovation and growth in the sector. That's your InvestIQ Market Read. This is analysis, not financial advice.